Today I want to talk about the best sleeping position for someone with a sensitive back. So if you have a disc herniation, disc bulge, maybe it's a post-surgery such as a fusion, and you're trying to find the most ideal position for you to sleep soundly, but without waking up the next day in excruciating pain and just repeating this vicious cycle. Now there's a lot of things to morning back pain, and the other week I did a video that you can go check out here, somewhere on this screen. You can click it, you'll see the icon here, and I basically go over the top things that you have to be doing if you're experiencing morning back pain now. But what I didn't talk about is the best sleeping position. So today we're gonna jump right into that. And if you're trying to figure out how to incorporate exercise into your painful situation, you're on some kind of pain cycle, but you want to exercise, you want to do it pain-free, I want to give you a free gift that I know is going to be revolutionary in your journey back into the gym, building strength again confidently. You grab it at fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. I go over all the details when it comes to applying exercise to post-surgery or a sensitive low back. You've got to get that. If you're in the gym exercising, trying to build strength, trying to get back to a more active life, this free guide is exactly what you need. fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. So I actually don't like this topic because when you search what is the best sleeping position for back pain, you come up with a lot of different answers. Some are very direct, like side sleeping or sleeping on your back with your feet elevated or sleeping on your stomach or some kind of weird concoction of a position in between that. And ultimately, it's never a good thing to take that information as an absolute for you. The first step you have to take is understanding what positions cause you pain, right? So you can think of this from a being awake standpoint, like what do you do? What are your pain triggers now that cause pain? Odds are being in that sort of position or ending in that sort of position is going to be the same painful trigger while you sleep. You always want to think about comfort, right? Not survival. There's a difference between like surviving life with pain versus like, okay, in order for us to desensitize our pain, we have to introduce more good things, more comfortable positions, things that are relieving to us. So when it comes to sleeping, it will never be, and you might be like, duh, but it will never be a situation where you're like, well, they say to be on my back or my side or my stomach, it hurts, but the internet or my doctor told me to do this, so therefore I'm gonna do it. So when it comes to finding what is comfortable for you, don't listen to anyone else, and instead, I want you to do your own detective work. What feels good to you, right? Does being on your stomach feel good, but being on your stomach for 8 hours straight, is that gonna feel good? No. Being on your stomach during the day as a relief strategy is a great tool, but not necessarily something that you wanna do sleeping on your stomach in a bed because there's a lot of variables to that position over a long period of time. Is being on your back, can you do that? Does it feel good to you when it comes to being on your back, your feet elevated, you're all propped up on pillows? Does that feel good for a long period of time? If it does, then that is your ideal position. The same thing goes with sleeping on your side. So never go with what the internet or what someone tells you is the best position. Always default to what feels good to you, because what feels good to you ultimately going to be your path out of chronic pain. The second tip that I wish I would have been told early on when it comes to pain and finding a good sleeping position is being okay with changing throughout the night. We are told, or what you should be thinking or being told by whoever you trust as your relief strategist, is to move. Like during the day, we want to be moving. Ultimately, when we sit for 6 hours straight, our body gets uncomfortable. It's not designed to do that without getting up and being more active. That's what feels good to our body. It's what our body needs, especially if you're in pain. So we have to apply that same mindset to sleeping. Now, I'm not saying you have to get up every 30 minutes to walk around when you're sleeping. No, but allow yourself, give yourself the grace and the ability to, when you wake up and you're like, oh man, I've been on my back for so long, I feel achy. Let's roll over and find a better position. It's not that being on your back is a bad thing, because if you fell asleep on your back with your legs propped in a great comfortable position and you slept till 2, 3 a.m., that's great. You wake up and you're like, oh, this is kind of achy. You roll over to your side and you get a good comfortable position that makes you last until 5, 6, 7 a.m., whatever time you wake up. That's a win, especially if you're at a high sensitive time. Give yourself the ability to do that. The third point I want to kind of make is the putting yourself in an ideal position. This is kind of like goes back to point number one, but let's talk about just simple anatomy. When you are in pain, odds are when you are out of an ideal position, which is probably relatively close to neutral for long periods of time, that's where the sensitivity or the inflammation is going to be kind of barking back at you, especially if you are highly sensitive. Focus on getting the body and spine in the most ideal position. In my opinion, this is what I have applied to my own situation and thinking, anatomically trying to get my body and spine to the best position possible for me in my pain situation. It is being on my side because I can control the position of my body. I can control the position of my legs. I can control pressure points in a sense of having my legs elevated on my back or being on my stomach and my neck being kind of torqued to the side or my elbows being tucked, which can cause other kinds of aches and pains. Being on my side allows me to get myself into the best ideal position for me. And this is the same position that I used when I was in high amounts of pain. The only difference is I was a struggle bus back then. I'd be on my side, but I was convinced that my mattress was jacking me up. So I was adding blankets to my side or trying to fill in the hole that I thought the mattress had where I was sleeping that would help prop me back. It was crazy. I did all kinds of things to help make sense of getting my body into a better position and blaming my mattress. But ultimately, I just need to find the ideal position for me and work outside of sleeping to bring relief and a reduction of sensitivity so that when I slept, it felt better. Which brings me to my final point on finding the best sleeping position for you. And ultimately that comes to what you do outside of the bed, outside of actually being asleep. We always want to focus on our back hurts, so we have to fix our low back issue, what's happening in our back versus what's happening up and downstream. Same thing goes with sleeping. It's okay, I'm having pain while sleeping, so it's my sleeping position. It's maybe the mattress that I'm having. It's the temperature in the room. It's the whatever. What I want you to also think about are the things that you do outside of these things. So what does your workout program look like? What is your strategy to reduce the sensitivity that you're experiencing outside of sleep, right? It's tough for anybody who is highly sensitive to be in one position while you sleep for hours and hours and hours. There's nothing you can do that's gonna fix that, but what you can do is focus on the things while you sleep as much as you can. Once you have those dialed in, you have to look at what you're doing outside of the sleep. And I always mention things like stretching, the type of exercising that you're doing, what you're doing before bed as a routine, and what you're doing when you first wake up that kind of sets the rest of the day, the pain cycle that you get onto for the rest of the day. There are elements that you do outside of sleep that are gonna impact the way you sleep and the quality of sleep that you get, but more importantly, how much pain you're in throughout the night. So as you can see, there is no one specific position that fits everybody. You have to be a detective. You have to kind of take the 4 points I've talked about today and apply them to your situation. You are in control of your sensitivity. You are in control of how you experience pain and what you're gonna do and how you're going to get out of pain. That is ultimately your responsibility. So you have to take control of that and make decisions necessary that's gonna serve you and your future self. So what about you? What is your ideal sleeping position? Is it on your back? Is it on your side? Is it on your stomach or some kind of weird position in between? Let me know in the comment section below. I share with you my favorite, best ideal sleeping position, which was on my side. I'd love to hear how you set up the perfect night's sleep in your home. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.